Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today I'm going to be testing out a new to me brand. You can pretty much call it a new brand because we're talking about HAUS Labs. This is Lady Gaga's brand, and the brand has been around for a while, but very recently they completely rebranded the entire beauty line. The styling, the packaging, the formulas, everything is completely revamped. So it's basically like a new brand launch at this point. I've never actually tried the brand before, so this is just new all around. New to me, new rebrand, lots of new products. HAUS Labs reached out to me and sent me a bunch of their new products. So we're gonna try them together. Some of these things I have been testing and playing with. So I will give you my thoughts and feelings along the way. We're gonna do close-ups, swatches. Obviously, I'm going to apply a bunch of the products too. Let's start with brows. This is the Edge Precision Brow Pencil. Since I'm showing you my makeup application up close, I just want to let you know I'm starting off with just the LA Girl Tinted Foundation. So I'm not completely barefaced for the beginning of this video, but pretty darn close. And I'm going to try to make this almost completely about the products that we're testing today. First is the Edge Precision Brow Pencil in the shade Medium Brown. This brow pencil is priced at $22 US, and it comes in 13 different colors. I'm first just filling in one of my brows, and we're going to take a look at what I look like with just one done. That way you can get a sense of really how much it filled in and what the color really looks like on me. It's easier when you can compare the two, one undone brow and one filled in. This overall was just okay for me. As far as a brow pencil goes, it's not blowing my mind for a $22 pencil, but it worked just fine. And with a little clear brow gel, I feel like it was pretty fine. Pretty fine. I have a couple of cheek products here, bronzers and highlighters. I am going to use one of the highlighters as my blush. I love a glowy blush, so this is just the perfect way for me to get use out of a highlighter that is a little bit too deep for me to use traditionally as a highlighter. So first I'll show you the bronzer. This is the Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer. Taking a close-up look at the bronzer packaging, there is this sort of rubberized, soft touch cover on the front, and then the shade names are on a sticker on the back, and the back is real shiny along with the sides. This is magnetic packaging. It has a mirror in here. All the cheek compacts do have pretty decent sized mirror. And this bronzer is priced at $38 US. It does come in 12 different shades. And I will say, overall, the performance for me is just fine. Again, much like the brow pencil, it's not really blowing me away, especially for the price. But I will say, when I swatch this, when I touch with the fingertip, it feels really soft and silky. I think the velvet name suits this powder really well. It blends in nicely. It does take a little bit of building up for me. However, I will say for my very, very pasty pale friends, me using a level 4 here means that there are quite a few lighter bronzers, so this is a good sign for my friends who may struggle to find a pale enough bronzer, because I'm pretty pale and I'm using the 4th shade. So, side note, also works pretty decently as an eyeshadow, just in case you were wondering. And we're also going to talk about these highlighters. You've probably seen these everywhere. They're all over social media right now. I have 2 different shades that I'm going to show you. This is called the Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighter. The Bio Radiant Gel Powder Highlighters have a ridiculously long name, but they do have this really gorgeous, shiny, iridescent packaging. It's the same shape and size as the bronzer, but obviously the outer packaging is noticeably different. This highlighter formula comes in 10 different colors and they are priced at $40 US a piece. The live swatch here barely does justice to how smooth and gorgeous these highlighters are. The gel powder name really threw me off because that seems so weird, and when you touch this, it definitely feels just like a shimmery powder. It's hard to explain, but the way that the swatch just glides over the skin and the way that the brush just glides the powder onto the face. I know that sounds strange. I maybe am not making sense right now, but I have swatched literally probably hundreds of thousands of different powders, and these do sort of have a gel powder feel to them. Maybe I am just, over caffeinated today or something, but they feel so smooth. They're not glittery, but they are sparkly. It's just an anomaly that I don't understand, but I do very much enjoy. I just love the way this looks, so much so that I wore one of the highlighters as my blush color because why not? I like to be shimmery and it looks so stunning on the skin. I really, really like this a lot. Next we have these pigments. These are the high power pigment paints. There are both matte and metallic formulas. The high power eye, cheek, and lip pigments are priced at $24 US a piece. They come in 20 different shades, 9 of which are the shimmer formula, and then 11 are the matte formula. You're going to get to see both of these in action. They do come in just this very straightforward little tiny squeeze tube. Don't really mind the packaging. I don't need a very convoluted packaging for a product like this. I have 3 of the shimmer shades. I'm going to show you these pigments in this live swatch format, and then we're going to go back and check on them again later once they are dried down. Next, let's take a look at the matte shades that I have. I have quite a few here: white onyx, beige, blush, mint, and black onyx. These are crazy how opaque they are, but they're not really thick and heavy feeling. It's so hard to explain, but I feel like HAUS Labs has some very interesting textures. They're definitely interested in formula, texture, and performance more than just doing something crazy and having crazy packaging, which is, I guess, kind of what I initially expected from the brand. These matte pigments are just unreal how opaque they are. So here you're just seeing all of the shades that I have after they were initially swatched. So these are not dried down yet. The shimmers were starting to dry a little bit at this point, but I want to show you a close-up. After a couple of minutes, you can see around the edges, the mattes are really starting to dry down. You can tell the color hasn't changed too much, but just that texture, that wetness has dried down. And now I was a little bit impatient because I wanted to get these swatches finished up and get this video finished up for you. But I wanted to do a super hard swipe across these pigments. You can see I am pushing into my arm, and I have a feeling that if I let that black pigment dry down for longer, that you wouldn't have seen much, if any, smudging. But given the fact that these only dried for a few minutes and I am pushing into my arm, these barely budged, especially after actually wearing one of these, which you're about to see me apply the gold shimmer pigment. I couldn't decide which color I wanted to go with, but I ended up going with gold because of my cheek color. These are almost entirely budge proof. I am very, very impressed with the performance. I definitely recommend doing thin layers like you see here and sort of letting each layer have 60 seconds or so to dry down before you go back and layer up the opacity with the shimmers. These are going to be great if you are somebody who is performing, if you're a dancer or something along those lines, because these pigments are incredibly long lasting. I was still able to remove them with my cellar water, but I am very, very impressed. Lastly, for lips, I have two different lip formulas here. There are lip oils and then there are these lip crayons. The PhD hybrid lip oils are, I'm going to be honest with you, in my opinion, these are just kind of a basic product. They're priced at $24 each. They come in 4 different shades. And these, from beginning to end, are just very middle of the road for me. The packaging is very familiar with this big, oversized, cushiony doe foot. The shades are pretty basic. The formula, for me personally, as somebody who loves lip balms and lip oils, isn't really anything to write home about. These are just okay. Now, the Le Monster lip crayon lipsticks are a different story. These are $22 each. They come in 13 different colors, the majority of which are mattes. There are 12 different matte shades, and then there's 1 shimmer shade. All 4 of the colors I have, though, are matte finish. And these are way more special than the lip oils, in my opinion. Somehow these managed to be, again, incredibly opaque and yet super lightweight. They just glide onto the lips during application. It seems to me, after trying all of these many different products, it's not that the brand is hit or miss. It's more like hit or meh. You're either going to get something that is just fine, works for its intended purpose, is not going to blow you away, but it's going to work fine. Or you're going to find something that has a really special, different, innovative formula that is going to be a standout in your collection. So I can't really be mad about that because there's no duds at all. Didn't try one single product that I felt was inferior or subpar, but there are some that are just a little bit more impressive and intriguing than others. All in all, I would say I had a good experience trying HAUS Labs for the first time. There were some products that were more stand out to me than others, particularly at this price point, because these are more expensive products. I really want something that's gonna wow. And while everything performed well enough for me, there are a few things that I think were really more of a standout. Probably not a surprise because this highlighter is going really viral right now, but this Bio Radiant Gel highlighter is at the top of my list personally of things that I've been enjoying, and this is by far the best product of this line so far. Anyway, for me, I do love a glowy cheek. I really like the texture of these. The packaging's beautiful. I love the dynamic look of the actual printed powder. It seems like there's a lot of good shades. It applies really well. It wears really well. Overall, this is my #1 top pick from the line. Next for me would be the pigments, but particularly the metallic ones. I love the sparkle and the wet look that I get from these. So this is in the second place spot for me behind the highlighters. And then in the bronze medal spot are the lip crayons. These are really lightweight. They glide onto the lips so easily. Oftentimes when I'm dealing with a matte lip product, particularly because I do have dry skin and dry lips, they tend to sort of skip and drag, and even application seems like more of a chore. And these just felt so lightweight. They glided on really easily. They wear really well. They don't make my lips feel shriveled up and dried. Plus, I like that they're in the twist up format versus something like the NARS matte lip pencils that you have to sharpen. I just think this is more travel friendly and overall easier to use. The bronzers, the lip oils, and the brow pencil were fine. They worked well for me. I just don't think they were necessarily as impressive or as worth the price for me personally, because I have other products that are at a lower price point that I feel perform just as well, if not better. But you know, that's just one girl's opinion. Everybody has different experiences with these products. based on their preferences, based on their skin type, based on their personal style. As usual, I always encourage you to go and watch a lot of different reviews and hear the reasoning behind why people like or dislike certain things. I think that can really help you get a well-rounded perspective on products. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about these products. Have you tried anything from HAUS Labs? Are you interested? Are you adding anything to your wish list? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! I forget what I was going to say. Nailing it! Oh, it's so hot. This lip combo, though, is really cute. You only got to see one of the highlighters in action, so let me do this other one because this color is so pretty. This is the Peach Quartz. I just didn't want to be too shimmery, but who am I kidding? I actually do want to be too shimmery. Like, why lie about it? Oh, so pretty. Get out. Oh. Did you hear that? So for this lip, I did the Mocha lip crayon and then I put the clear lip oil on top. I was kind of rolling the dice on that because often oils will break apart matte products, but these two actually worked really well together. Kind of makes me wonder how oily the lip oils actually are. But the result looks pretty cute, I think. I really like this sheer wash of makeup look that I have today. The HAUS Labs rebrand is definitely giving me more Milk Makeup Glossier Girl type of vibes, but a little bit edgier. I guess more Milk Makeup than Glossier Girl. I definitely get that sheer and smudgy kind of vibe from it, which personally I really like, especially because there's so much sparkly, shiny stuff. So I like it. I'm excited to see what they come out with next. They just sneaked a foundation release, so I'll be interested to see if that follows in the footsteps of this more low maintenance vibe that I'm getting so far. Okay. That's it. I'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by. You're cool, cute, and fancy. Yeah, has anybody told you that you're fancy lately? I bet they haven't, but they should. Because you are fancy. I don't care if you're wearing sweatpants, eating Doritos in your bed. Some may find that fancy. Personally, I think that sounds pretty awesome. And I would totally do that. Invite me to the next sleepover. What are we watching on Netflix? Okay, sorry for inviting myself to your house. I will talk to you later. I love your face. Okay, bye.